Never happened. Want to know what's funny? He ended up getting arrested about 2 years later. How do you get arrested and thrown in jail for a crime that the cops came and witnessed never happened? Sounds like abuse of power. That sounds like a whole lot of corruption, doesn't it?
Real life. If it ain't real life, it ain't AI.
If it ain't real life, just ain't real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Kind of like how illegal it was, you know, for Desiree Reynoso Perez to call the police and lie and say that her son-in-law was beating on her daughter when that never happened, even though she had camera in the room, and then she had a bunch of non-speaking um witnesses that could have swore to God that they heard everything that they was hollering about from over 200 feet away while they was busy watching a telenova in a living room. They didn't see nothing. They got a phone call and said that somebody was in there, and then they go in there and nothing's happening, and then the police come and nothing's happening, and they're checking the girl's body and they're looking and there's no bruises and there's no nothing, even though Desiree Perez was on the phone with the police saying that she was being viciously attacked by her black boyfriend. Never happened. Want to know what's funny? He ended up getting arrested about 2 years later. How do you get arrested and thrown in jail for a crime that the cops came and witnessed never happened? Sounds like abuse of power. That sounds like a whole lot of corruption, doesn't it? We talked about that. You know, it's so
Most.
funny because my videos are being heavily suppressed. You know, I gotta read you guys this. It's funny. It's like they really wanna corral everywhere I go and who I talk to and what I say. Oh, hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I don't have it in here. I sent myself the wrong one. No, that was a long. Oh, but then there is this. Oh, did you see this? Have you seen this?
Oh.
Yeah. Jaguar Wright, almost unalived by Diddy's hitman. Noah Jacob, TV. I shouted him out once before. I guess they paid you real good. You fake Christian piece of crap. Bearing false witness. You call yourself a Christian? Bearing false witness, you stupid little kid. Because if you think I'm not going to come after your platform, and if you think I'm not going to make sure that everybody goes to your platform and report you for the lies you told with your AI evidence video that you put up.
Yeah.
Do you know what the video said? That number one, it said Diddy's hitman, but I thought Diddy and Jay-Z wasn't friends. But it says that because I interviewed Demoree Hadley, right? Because I interviewed her, the hitmen came after me and they boom boomed my car and they tried to take me out. And guess what they used as evidence that all of this happened to me? All of that crap that I went through with my second ex-husband, which y'all know very well because y'all remember when that car went boom boom in Arizona right after the Super Bowl and the Grammys, right after Lizzo won, and I told her she better brace herself. Her career ain't been the same since, has it?
Mm.
Lost on Ozempic, they say. My God. Now y'all remember that car. Y'all
Mm.
remember I used to drive that car. And now Noah Jacobs is saying that that car was boom boom because I talked to Demoree Hadley 2 years after it was boom boomed. The gaslighting videos of them gaslighting me at the barbershop, the gaslighting videos of them gaslighting me at the PD, all of that crap that you all done by YouTubers, Tasha K YouTubers.
And real quick, I want
And now, oh my God, Jaguar, she interviewed the CEO of Rock Nation's daughter, and now look at what's happened to her. There's a whole comment here that says Jag needs some serious security. I'm afraid for her life. I appreciate her. That's what we doing for clicks and views. This was only a couple of days ago. Do I look like anybody recently just tried to kill me, guys?
mm, come
Huh?
on, come on.
That's the kind of suppression YouTube is doing. I actually had one of my subscribers come and leave me a long message. I guess I left that message in this phone, talking about how she never gets any notifications when I go live on my channel anymore, the Jaguar Wright effect. Matter of fact, when she goes in to look for me, she has to look extra hard, and instead she finds everybody else's channel but mine, where the Demoree Hadley interview is, which is such a slow crawl for someone who goes viral so easily. Then she has to turn off her notifications and turn them back on and do all of this stuff, and then they do all of this, and then when she goes and she likes a video, it unlikes it. Can you believe that?
Mm,
She likes the video and it unlikes it. YouTube unlikes it. That's how badly they don't want anybody looking at Desiree Reynoso Perez's daughter tell the very truth about what she does with her rock and employees. That's how badly they don't want nobody hearing that. So they run around to content creator after content creator, getting them to lie, to scare other YouTubers so they won't cover this story. But instead, right before she got gagged, because now Demoree has been gagged. So now her and her husband are both gagged, and he can't talk about the fact that he's an innocent black man that's been railroaded into 3 different domestic violence DV charges. And they actually tried to get him for human teleporting his own wife. They had a whole recording with someone that wasn't even Demoree, saying, please don't grade me. Please don't grade me. Please. It wasn't even her. They tried to get a woman that she first went to for grief counseling, who ended up just staying on as a counselor, life work balance and all of that, because, the therapy became very, very therapeutic for her, as therapy usually is. And they tried to get her to turn and turn on Demore and say that she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs so that they could easily Baker Act her and then Marchman Act her, which they ended up doing anyway. I mean, they had tried on several occasions, but they just didn't stop. Even got Natalie Love to go to her therapist and to try to convince a therapist to go along with their nasty little plan, all because she didn't want her daughter with that black boy from not such a good neighborhood, even though he ended up going to college, graduating, a degree in business, I believe, owns his own landscaping business. They own it together. He played football, D1. He just didn't want to go into the NFL because he didn't want to be owned by any corporation that might try to do him harm or keep him away from his family. He likes being close to his family. Interesting. They didn't want to get down with the Rock Nation plan, so that was enough to make Desiree, I wish I was Griselda, you know, Miss, I sleep with cartel people and they all of a sudden they all end up in jail for life. I have babies with cartel leaders, and all of a sudden, my baby's daddy ends up in jail for life. I'm just Hey, this is CEO of Rock Nation we're talking about.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's doing
Um,
this to a black man. You want to know where else she was when a black man was being persecuted in the courts? She was standing right next to Megan Pete every day. She was there every day, very involved. And we all know that she has a very good relationship with the federal government. She's done a lot of work. Hmm. I tell you one thing. Um, Ramir's paternity suit and Demoree's lawsuit, which is very real. I have all of the body cam where the police actually called Desiree Perez a liar for calling in a fake abduction call just so that they would come and arrest an innocent black man who loves her daughter.
yeah, no, Nicki Minaj just came out a couple days ago, said that Desiree
Yeah.
Perez was behind swatting her.
Yeah, she shared my video and then they shut her down on social media too, so wouldn't nobody go see mine. I mean, Tasha K did do an interview with her finally, right before she got gagged, where she tried to convince her that she was tripping and maybe she was paranoid and looked at none of the evidence that we have displayed in our brilliant expose. Isn't
Mm.
that interesting?
So, can we ask you, how did you and Demoree, how did y'all link up? Like, can you explain how that came together?
She reached out to me.
What was y'all's first conversation like, just in general?
She saw my AI breakdown video because the video that her mother, Desiree Reynoso Perez, was passing around for real, where they had it staged to make it look like Javon had DV'd her, which turned out it wasn't that. Actually, it was the other way around. She was trying to beat the crap out of him with a Swiffer. He wanted to leave because he wasn't feeling well and she wasn't feeling well and they were having a bad day. And she got it convinced in her mind that he was going off to cheat on her. So she was beating him with the Swiffer and he had to grab it and put it away and move her out of the way so he could get out the house. She's a very fiery, passionate, half Puerto Rican and half Cuban woman. Bless her heart. All of us women have been there. But for them to take that moment and then T-Pain chop and screw and remix that video to make that innocent black man look like he DVs women was pretty low and pretty disgusting. It was a hack job. I was able to pull every last one of the things. But then again, I have a lot of practice because of all of the AI videos that have been done to me, like the one Storm Monroe did last year, trying to make it sound like I said Sean Carter did something to me that he didn't do. So Sean Carter would have a reason to sue me. Hmm. Funny because Storm Monroe just recently came back and said he had his own Rock Nation story. Of course, not something that Demoree or Javon would be able to refute because they both have gag orders now. How convenient that he waited until they couldn't speak and said that he was a lying sack of shit. But then again, he did have a vested interest because after I did that AI breakdown video, I asked him to produce the metadata for the video he AI'd of me here on YouTube. Want to know what's even sadder than that? 3 weeks later, another content creator tried to push that same video through. Guess what? It looked a little better than the first one. They cleaned it up. Can you imagine? You get caught and you get busted passing out and disseminating false information on another human being so that you can have an excuse to cover up the fact that you're an insane narcissist who was willing to put your daughter in a mental hospital because you didn't want her with a black man who loves her and who's been with her for 16 years. Somebody who went on family vacation. Someone who Desiree herself brought dolphin tickets for. You should see the hack job she really tried to do on their relationship. Sitting there going to Javon, telling him what a girlfriend Demoree was, and then she'd go to Demoree and tell him what a boyfriend he was, hoping to turn the two of them together like a real witch. Because that's what witches do. That's witchcraft. Creating a bunch of constant confusion until people can't trust what's in their own mind anymore, hoping that your money and your ties and your connections will convince them to see it your way. I would have rather had mommy dearest than have her. I'd have rather catch the wire hanger than the that she's forced these two people to go through. And salute to Tawana Houston, Javon Hadley's mother, who raised him up after his father was taken from them when he was 9 months old. He was like a one or two, something like that. Like I think that's part of the reason why him and Demoree have such a close, because they both experienced great abandonment as little babies. Javon's father was taken from him in an act of violence, when he was a little boy, and his mom was forced to raise her family up on her own, and she's done a very excellent job. Demoree was forced to go live with her grandfather, who she called dad and called his woman in life partner mama. I mean, because her mother decided that she wanted to go play cartel and robbers, and she got popped, so she dropped her 9-month-old baby off, and then she didn't show back up until the girl was 14 years old after she became the co-owner of Rock Nation, so that she could bring her into the fold and woo her with all of her success. Like, you dropped your baby off because you wanted to be, you want to be a thug. You wanted to be the Timu version of Griselda Marcos. Ain't that her name, Griselda Marcos?
Mm.
Yeah, that's who Desiree is. She the Timu Griselda. When you torture your child, you use your Rock Nation hack team that Bobby Schmurda was talking about to clone your child's phone since 2016. She's had access to everything that her and Javon have talked about. She had the ability to erase messages, put messages in, send text messages on her behalf. Hired a surveillance team to follow Javon around since 2019, trying to find a way to put a case on him. And when they couldn't do that, she just started making things happen. What's sad is that she actually had the ability, her and Quinn Emanuel and Alex Spiro, were able
Wow.
to convince HSI to come and interview your daughter while she was in a mental hospital. And you used evidence from her social media that you grabbed from things that happened, a car accident, a cooking accident, and try to blame it on him. And she was able to go and debunk everything. Can you imagine?
Mm.
That's beyond relentless. You hate black men that much that you wanted to make a SCX teleporter out of him? If you were able to do that to your own son-in-law, I have no doubt you was able to do it to Tory Lanez. Easily. But y'all want to create little AI videos and tell people, hey, don't talk about that story. Oh, hitmen will come after you. Oh, don't talk about that story. Oh my God, Desiree Perez, oh my goodness, she was with the cartel, and oh my God, and if you do this, no, and then you got little Drizzle Monroe. making his little videos talking about, oh yeah, because her lawyer wants all the content creators to do content. They want them to go to court and fight them for court, and I don't have enough money, and that's why I turned the story down. You're a lying piece of shit, you little. And I'm calling you that. I've been so good. I've been so good this whole time, but you, for you, I'ma drop my standards. You little, you're a liar. Hilton Napoleon never asked any content creator to go to court and fight anything. Y'all are trying to scare people away from this girl's story because guess what? Everything in it sounds just like Rico to me. And some of those private investigators, I believe they come from the same company that allegedly some of those security people that was running around scaring that autistic victim. See, it's all the collusion. See, it's all the collusion. You want to know what else is interesting?
Hmm.
The simple fact that TMZ actually had the audacity to call the district attorney's office in one of Javon's cases and demand to know when they were going to take him to trial. That case wasn't public knowledge. There was no public knowledge of any of this going on until Demoree filed her case because her mother filed one first against her husband.
All right.
No one knew about it. Since when does TMZ just running around just looking for random cases to get involved with and asked to be in the courtroom? Sounds like intimidation to me.
What?
This is what you got going on.
Yeah,
Because this
what's up?
isn't media. This isn't media. This isn't journalism. This is intimidation. This is corruption. And all of that lines right up with Rico. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find that thread that ties all of you together. I promise you that on my dead son. I promise you that on Giovanni Jackie Emmanuel Wright's whole life, here and now and forevermore. I promise you. I'm going to find the link. There will be a new song to sing. Rico Suave. Do you understand? Do all of you understand?
Something
I'm
coming.
sick and tired of y'all playing in people's faces, most importantly, mine. And every last one of you coward content creators that will not cover a story as worthy as this one. A black man's life and his freedom being thrown out to the wind. To literally sit there and coddle the narcissistic ravings of a power freak who runs a label that is predominantly black.
What's on the fourth interview with you and Demore that hasn't been released yet? What's on that one? I'm just curious.
People need to go and just see the whole journey. But what I will say is it's not just gonna live on YouTube. We have enough evidence and we have enough footage. And we're creating our own film event. We're gonna take it offline, or at least off YouTube. And we're gonna put it somewhere where the whole world can see it. See, that's what happens when you piss a like me off. Anything that I had worth losing, I already walked away from. What you willing to walk away from? You don't want to play chicken with a like Because, see, once we finish it, the film version, with all of the everything in it, even special commentary that wasn't in the series that we've released here on YouTube so far, I promise you it's going to be hard for you to suppress those views. Checkmate. I ain't playing with you. And ain't nobody afraid of none of y'all. See, I walk with God and I walk with the angels. Everybody sat around sitting there. I ain't never seen somebody get convicted of two counts of the Mann Act, and everybody run around talking about they not guilty. No, he's not guilty of the Rico yet. They still got all of those pow pows and all of the rest of the footage. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. If enough concerned citizens make enough noise, I don't care what that Bondi down at the DOJ say to anybody named Comey in New York. They gonna have to move on it. See, I think American citizens have forgotten about how much power we actually have. If they don't get reelected, if the people that put them in office don't get reelected, then they got to walk away from those jobs.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Starz, nigga. Move. Hey.